where's the smoke? Well, here's the smoke. And there was a little itty-bitty wisp coming out. And then I saw tubes that were behind the rock man. So I followed the tubes along. And behind the rock, two special effects guys. Going in the tubes. $250,000. No flame, no smoke. And when we filmed it, you know how it looked? Just as bad. I had to cut that whole thing up, and I had to invent a bad guy coming out of the rocks without smoke because the stuff that we had planned didn't work, and I had compromised on that as well. So the lesson I learned, $30 million lesson, that I hope you'll help me amortize, is that you got to choose your moments to compromise and your moments to choose to stand on principle. That's my lesson for the day. Yeah.
My name is Matt Clark, but you call me Ruby.
They call you what?
Ruby. I don't understand.
They call you Ruby? Yeah. You're old. Look at that. You would be as old as I am. Ruby?
Well, we grew up together.
That's all right. Well, let's call each other cool. That's at least more modern. Or awesome. Let me call you awesome instead of Ruby.
Captain, you can call me anything you want. Star Trek, the TJ Hooker, the Boston Legal. I think, what was your favorite character and why?
Well, here's the way it is. An actor brings his sensibility to the party. It doesn't matter whether it's Bohemian Rhapsody or some stupid thing, some other stupid thing that I don't know, also, who you are, and I can't do what you do. You would realize entirely differently than I would, because I'm approaching it from my sensibility. I have to do what's inside me, because I don't know anything else. So the actor brings himself to the role. And the self is always changing. I mean, I'm not what I was yesterday, and I'm not what I'm going to be tomorrow. And then you put 10 years between that. So you change a lot. Physically, emotionally, socially. I don't know how your health insurance is, but that's changed. Everything changes. So that what I was doing, say, in Star Trek, 50 years ago, in 2016, where I wanted to do a show, it'll be the 50th anniversary. 50 bloody years. That's more than all of it. I mean, imagine how I've changed in 50 years. I got you one of those cytoblasts. You were not even a gleam in your father's eye in 50 years ago. Also, I'm not too sure about you. So that at the moment that I'm performing, I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. And 10 years later, I would do it entirely differently because I'm a different person. So to pick up the mess is like picking out a child. You know, I did Captain Kirk. I had come off of the stage, Shakespeare. I was, I had just done a pilot film for Alexander the Great. And I stripped down, the weight lifted, I had learned to ride bareback. The look of eagles was the term. The look of eagles. So when I got into Star Trek, I was still doing Alexander the Great. And he Crane, old and senile, I sort of grew into it. Start getting slower.
Sir?
Just, I didn't quite understand what you were saying.
Sorry about that.
No, yes, and I just said slowly.
I was wondering if you had any interest in reprising the role as Kirk and being a new Star Trek movie like you wanted us.
The weirdest thing has happened. And I think I can tell you because it's so weird. You won't believe it anyway. So I'm in Australia. I was doing some work in Australia a couple weeks ago. And I was in Brisbane. Then I took some 3-4 days off and dove, scuba dived, and snorkeled in the Great Barrier Reef. And then came back to Sydney, appeared in Sydney. And at that point, somewhere in that time, JJ Abrams calls Los Angeles. And I'm not there. So my assistant calls me and says, JJ Abrams called, he's going to call back. I say, great, I got my phone. I don't know what JJ wants. Because the last time I talked to JJ was before the first movie came out. And I went to meet him in his office, and he said, are you interested in being in the next, in the Star Trek, the first Star Trek movie? I said, oh, yeah. You can play Captain? No. I'll play Captain Kirk. No. We've got a young, handsome guy to do that. But he handed me a script, and I read the script. And it was terrible. I read this script for the next Star Trek movie. And it's like telling somebody, you know that little cute baby out there? It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. You know, how do you say it to a mother? Look at my baby, that's the ugliest baby I've ever seen. You don't dare say that. So I couldn't say that to JJ. This is the worst script I've ever read. And it's like that Star Trek movie, the beginning of it all, it's awful. Turned out it wasn't the script at all. He had handed out, he wanted, I don't know quite what he was doing, he was assessing whether people were interested in being in the movie and handing them a script that they must have been a dummy script because the next script was really darn good. The final movie was really good, but it wasn't this script that I read. So now I get this call, and he's going to call back. And a week and a half goes by, and never calls back. And it's one of those things. He's going to call back. Maybe it's this whole another. Maybe it's a trick. Maybe it's TMZ. Maybe they'd be that cruel. So he calls. He says, he's in London. Shoot. Guess what he's shooting? Yeah. The other one. He said, I'm calling Bill because the director of Star Trek, the next movie, has had an idea where you might be involved. So I'm calling to find out whether you'd be interested. Interesting. Oh, yeah. I said, well, you know, it's meaningful because when Spock was in that first movie, I said to Leonard, you know you're old. When you go back in time, you're still old. So it depends on what you do with the character. I'd be delighted. He says, okay, now, Bill. Can't say anything. I said, I won't tell my wife. I won't tell anyone. Hey, Maggie wants me to be out. No. I wouldn't do that, just. I get back from Australia, and it's all over the internet. That the director held an interview and said they wanted Shatner and Nimoy to be in the next movie. I think JJ's frothing at the moment. So the news is out that they have
just give you that line to say, or did you just
I don't remember what this was. I was trying to do something there. I actually dramatized or speak about that moment in my one-man show about how I had played the character of Captain Kirk with awe and wonder at everything. So that when the alien of the week came by, instead of being fearful, I wow, look at that. I'll bet it's going to eat me. Sort of thought. So it's the awe and the wonder of the mystery. Well, we all should have that. We all too soon get inured to sensation and curiosity and awe of everything. Just walking down the street. I just coming here this afternoon, was looking at that street that has all the restaurants on it. It's fabulous. I mean, you guys probably the neighbors of Nashville. I'm looking, wow, look at this fabulous street, because I'm seeing it with new eyes. We got to look at things like that all the time. We have to look at our life and our relationships and our very breath with awe and wonder. God, look at that, I'm breathing. The older you get, the more in awe you are. But even when you're young, you should be thinking, wow, life and its extravagances and sensations, it's awesome. And so that's why I tried to play Captain Kirk. Now, looking at death, just in my tooth. When you're looking at death, we're all going to die. Okay? News, write this down. Sorry. We're all going to die. I'm going first. Some of you will be right behind me. Others of you will be quite a lot. But we're all going. And the mystery of what happens is always there. We tend to shut it off because makes you too nervous to think about it. But when you think about it, two things happen. It's scary. And then you begin to appreciate what's going on around you. So how was I going to play the death of Captain Kirk? What did I do? And it seemed to me that people die the way they did. So if you're mean and ugly and resentful and unhappy, you're going to feel the same way when you die. But if you're filled with love and you're filled with the joy of life and happiness of being thankful for what you've got, then death might be a different experience. It might be an adventure. And I'd like to think of it that way. So I tried to play Captain Kirk's death as though he saw something like the alien with awe and wonder, and it came, and then he died. And that's the way I hoped that scene would be. Okay? Hire Yourself. We've got a new title called called something we just changed it up. Anyway, it's a book about 55-year-olds and above, 50-year-olds and above, who are finding it difficult to get a job because they need more money, and what you can do about hiring yourself, and how to get online, and how to do a web, and how to employ yourself, age of 50. There are no podcasts of kids who are 11. I don't mean 15 and 16 and all those teenagers. They have plenty more. But from 9 to 12, there's nobody expressing themselves and engaging other 11-year-olds in conversation. Like, how do you feel about school? Well, I hate school, I don't know. So somebody who was 11 would be saying, well, why? Why would you rather be in Star Trek and not learning that 2 plus 2 is 4? And you'd have this conversation, which would be published, would be out there, so other 11, 12, 9-year-olds could discover that you're thinking exactly the same way that so many other 11-year-olds are thinking. And it's what's wrong with our schools, by the way, because at 11, you should be wondering, the moons around Jupiter are revolving around, why are they there? And what is Jupiter? How do we get there? And all that excitement that's at school, and you're not a part of it, and it's not your fault, and it's our fault. Okay? So, I would love to hear you in a podcast talking about why school is disinterested, not of interest to you, and you'd rather do something else. That's another subject. I want to hear your question. Go ahead.
So in Star Trek 2, there's like...
Star Trek 2? Which one was that? You don't know? Well, what was going on then? Because I don't remember it either.
There was a new starship that had a transwarp drive.
The what? All together. Okay, I didn't get that. Go ahead.
And in the 21st century,
Yes.
they're still trying to figure out how to make transwarp.
Was that Khan? Was it 2 Khan? Khan!
What was it? 21st century children are still trying to figure out transwarp drives, and somehow the 22nd century is.
What's your question?
Why are they trying to figure it out when they haven't?
Because they went to your school. They went to your school and can't figure it out. What were they trying to figure out?
How to do transwarp?
Oh, the transporter.
No, transwarp. Warp drive?
The warp drive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
No.
The transport.
Yeah.
Well, transformer and transporter and warp speed are related.
It's a transwarp drive.
No, the dilithium crystal gives off an energy crystal. Listen, I'm going to give you a mystery. Okay? Dilithium crystals were really special. But no more special than any other crystal. And here's the mystery. You vibrate a crystal here. And if it's cut from the same crystal, another crystal, 1,000,000 miles away, faster than the speed of light, that could get to it, it's vibrating as well. Nobody can figure out why a crystal will vibrate instantaneously, and especially in quantum physics, the mystery of quantum physics. At 11 years old, you're on the threshold of so many answers to so many mysteries that for you not to be involved at 11, thinking, I can't wait to be 12 and I'll understand more, you got to go to school and think that way and fight your way out